Can you see me? Oh, that looks real low. Maybe not. Hold on. Let me think about this. Can I make you taller? How do you feel? You're still not on eye level. That doesn't mean you can't see me, but you're not on eye level. Hold on. I don't know. Is that close enough? Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Mandi Grace, author of 10 young adult novels so far. Welcome to the return of the Mid-Month Chit-Chat. I forgot to make my tea. You just stay there. I'm back. Did you miss me? Whoa. Okay. Oh. The lens is always being a problem. Hello. I feel like you're really close to me. I hope you can see me. How do you feel about that? I'm too lazy to like look and see if you can actually. We're just gonna film a video and hope for the best. It's fine. Did I do an intro before I went down for my tea? Yeah, I think so. That was like 20 minutes ago, you guys. I'm so tired now. I made the tea and caught up on some Slack DMs because two of my BFFs had sent me messages, and also CEO, head coach Anya, and my co-coach person group chat with the gal who does the writing challenges with me that we coach within the writing community, and also sent messages, and anyway, I was catching up on things. Okay, hi, hello. This is the video with no structure. Can you tell? Hi, I haven't done these and I don't even know how long. So basically, my Mid-Month Chit-Chats, I talk about my writing, my reading, book coaching, all the things that I'm doing, what kind of productivity is happening, I don't know. I just rant about stuff, basically, and drink some tea. So let's do that. Hi. So it's like 3 hours later and a different mug of tea. We're here. Listen, the camera died, okay? Camera died. So I was charging it, and I have another battery, but it had died over Christmas when I was at the farm, and I didn't charge it then. So I didn't have a charged battery. So that was the first problem. And then my roommate got home from work, and we were chatting, and then we had dinner, and then here we are, basically. So I don't remember what I had said, but not much of anything. So let's get into it. This is maybe I won't say the most chaotic, but it's one of the most chaotic mid-month chit-chats that I've had probably ever. It's a good start. Also, we're on a time crunch because the educational prickle starts in 38 minutes. And I usually talk a lot for the mid-month chit-chat, so we gotta book it or something. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's start with book coaching. I want to change who I'm marketing towards, and possibly also how I am doing it. Because I realized over the summer the niche that I want to be mentoring, and I'm pretty open. Like, if other people also want my help, I'll let them sign up for it. You know, I'm not gonna be like, no, you have to meet a specific demographic. But I do think I want to be geared toward a very specific demographic, which is essentially just mini-me's. Young, Christian, homeschooled teenagers. Basically. So at the homeschool conference that I go to every year to sell my books, there's always a handful of, middle school, high school age kids who who will hang out at my booth talking about writing because they're into writing and they want to know all the things. And sometimes there's parents who talk to me about writing because they know their kids are interested in that, or they're trying to, help them out in that regard. So I have conversations with kids and parents about writing in this demographic anyway. And then this summer at church camp, one of the girls in my counseling group was like this 12-year-old girl, homeschool, Christian, and writing a portal fantasy. And I was like, you're me. You're me at 12 years old. Like, this is great. We had a blast that whole week of camp, like, talking about writing and stories and just, like, everything the whole week. Hers, mine, in general, like, we talked about everything. And it was a lot of fun. And then after camp, in the months since then, she sent me her book to read, and we've emailed a couple times about various, like, book-related things, and it's been a lot of fun. And also, there's, like, this level of, I know that we could be doing so much more if we had, like, more in-depth conversations or, like, dedicated mentoring time. And I've realized that I really want that. Like, the relationship I'm building with her, I really want that, but, like, more structured, obviously. And, like, I don't know. I really enjoy that a lot. And so I want to shift my business to that, where I'm mentoring kids in their writing, I guess. And I'm really excited about it, but, like, it is a big shift. And also, I don't want to say that I'm not open to working with adults. Like, I'm going to keep working with the 2 gals that I work with already. And I'm not opposed to other adults, also wanting to join Increasing Grace Coaching. But I definitely want the focus to be mentoring teenagers in their writing. And, like, all the way, like, from brainstorming or just talking about stories to, like, writing and, like, helping them develop their drafts and strengthen different areas where they're weak in their writing with, like, dialogue or scene setting or whatever. And then, like, let's get you published kind of thing. Like, I was 19, I think 19, 18, 19, when I published my first book. And I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I did a Google search and then published based off of that. Literally. I was like, how to self-publish, and CreateSpace came up, and I clicked on it, and then I just did it. There was no mentoring. I had no idea what was happening, and I made a lot of mistakes. And so I want to be the person for the little me's, to be like, let me give you some direction so you can do what I did better. I don't know. Anyway, I'm really excited about it, but I don't know what that's going to look like. And I don't know, like, maybe I'll have, like, the minors mentorship thing and also the book, like, coaching, and it won't be the same, Like, maybe there'll be like, different packages, for adults versus kids. And I also don't know, like, legally, ethically, what I need to put in place to, like, do sessions with minors. It's on Zoom. I don't know if it needs to be, like, have a parent guardian present, if it needs to, like, what kind of overseeing needs to happen, what would parents be comfortable with, I don't know. I'm hoping I can get some conversations going. I'm planning on going to 2 homeschool conferences this year. I've already signed up. I've paid for the booths. I'm going to 2 of them. And I'm hoping to get some conversations going with parents, maybe, because some of them already, ask me things about writing because their kids are interested in writing, and so if those conversations come up, kind of directing it and being like, listen, I'm building this book coaching thing, what would you, want to see, or what would you be comfortable with for your child, or what would you be willing to pay? Like, I don't know. Because maybe it does need to be like a separate package thing versus like my book coaching package. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what's happening with book coaching. It's a lot of ideas and like passion, and I'm really excited about like narrowing down my demographic and like my ideal client, right? My ideal client is Juliana. But I don't know like how I'm going to build that or change that or market that or like anything. So it's still mostly idea phase, but like I'm really excited about it, and we'll see what happens there. With reading, I am reading, you guys. Okay, so over Christmas, which isn't really January, but we're talking about it. Over Christmas, I read Pride and Prejudice, which I've read a million times, but I read Pride and Prejudice, which got me into the swing of writing. And then moving into January, around New Year's, I picked up The Fellowship of the Ring, which I've also read before. But I'm reading it so fast, the whole trilogy, because, well, I don't know, because it's amazing and I love it, I guess. But it feels really good to be reading for pleasure. So while it hasn't been progress on the TBR yet, I did actually read, what are we at? I've read 50 pages in one of the TBR books. So there is some progress happening there. But it's not the greatest book ever, so it's kind of boring, and I don't know if I'm going to finish it. It might be a DNF. Sorry, Kristen. Don't know yet. Haven't decided. Anyway, but I am reading, right? So I'm reading books that I've already read before, reading a little bit on the TBR. I'm reading some nonfiction. Everyone's a Theologian, which is really good. Haven't made it to a lot of chapters into it yet, but so far it's been really good. So there's been a lot of reading happening, which I'm really excited about. It's been forever since I've felt like a reader. I think in all of 2024 I read like 3 books, maybe. And one of those was Lady Susan, which I read in January because I got it for Christmas last year, and then I immediately read it, and like, you know, I didn't read last year over the course of like the whole year. So I'm hoping to continue reading throughout the year and not just be like a excited in January thing and then it tapers off. Because I want to be, hi kitten, I want to be reading again. And so far this month I have been reading and I've been enjoying it, and it's really cup filling, and I'd like that to continue. Cool. So writing, transitioning into the biggest topic, I think. What's been going on in January? So many things. Yeah. Well, at the very end of December, I published Isolation, which is Cassie's book, which was kind of rushed, and isn't it always with me? But in January, I've been working on Cindy's book, so I'm simultaneously writing the end of the rewrite. So, explanation: if you've somehow missed all of this over the course of the last 3 years, I wrote and published 10? No. The other 2 were Mandi Grace. 8. I wrote and published 8 books under Amanda Grace before I started using the Mandi brand. And those were my earliest books. So like the one that I wrote at 17 and then up to I don't know when. I don't know. Somewhere in my 20s. But I, in 2022, decided to rewrite those books and then republish them under Mandi Grace. And so I did 5 of those 8 books in 2022, which was too many, but it happened. And then I just had the 3 books in the Dystopian trilogy to still write and republish and yada yada. And I just did Isolation, so I have 2 more. We're working on Cindy. We've been working on Cindy for like a year and a half or something. And there's just 3,000 words of the original book to sift through, decide what scenes I'm keeping, what I'm changing, updating, adding, whatever, right? There's just 3,000 words at the very end that I haven't finished yet. So I'm trying to get to the end of this first draft hybrid thing, because it feels very much like a first draft, even though I'm working off of a published book, because a lot of it is changing, and also the book is twice as many words as the original book, and that's happened for every single one of these rewrites. Like, Isolation was like 22,000 words the first time I published it, and this time it was like 48 or something like that. Like, they're jumping in size, and all of them have done that so far. All 6 that I've worked on, 7 that I've worked on, all 7 that I've worked on. So it feels very first drafty, and also I'm at a lot of scenes. It's not just the scenes that I'm writing better, or at least wordier, but there's also a lot of new content and changed content. So anyway, all of that is to say, it feels very much like a first draft, even though, like, technically it's not. Which is why I call it a weird first draft hybrid thing. But I haven't hit the end on Cindy's, is the point that I'm getting at. And I'd like to by the end of January. And so far, I've only worked on the end of Cindy once so far in January. Wrote about 1,000 words. But there's still, like, all 3,000 of those words to go through at the very end, plus whatever I'm adding and yada yada. And I'm estimating it'll take 10 writing sessions, because I write roughly 1,000 words in every writing session when I'm doing drafting. And so I think possibly, maybe, based on the 3,000, which will probably double to 6,000 because the book's double in size, roughly. Plus I was adding new content, so like maybe 10,000 words, which would be 10 writing sessions. That's my guess. And I'm hoping to get through those 10 writing sessions in January, so that I can hit the end on Cindy, and then just be focused on edits for Cindy. Speaking of edits for Cindy, I have also been polishing, self-editing, whatever, the beginning chapters of Cindy and sending them to a critique partner at the same time that I'm trying to write the end. So I've done 1 chapter so far this month, and then today actually I'm due to send her another chapter, and I need to do that before I go to bed tonight. So that'll be my 2nd chapter in January, that I'll send off to her. So edits are moving. I just need the first draft nist to be done. Like, I need to finish drafting. I'm not really worried about the edits, because we have a plan and we're making progress, we're moving through it, but I really need to get to the end of those 3,000 words and be done with Cindy's drafting. And assuming I ever do that, I'll start Hope's drafting, but not in January. In January, we're just trying to hit the end and then making sure we're sending things to our critique partner, and that's it. And then my other critique partner, I'm trying to get back into sending her stuff and reading her stuff. We'd kind of fallen off of that for a while. And so I'm trying to wake us back up to that. And we have a deadline, we have a plan, but she doesn't typically read my Christian fiction, which is most of what I write. She did read The Legend of the Thief when I first started rewriting that back in 2022. But my Christian fiction is not typically her jam, because she's not a Christian. So I sent her my fantasy. I sent her Messiah's book when I send her things. And I'm not currently working on Messiah, but if we have deadlines, and I'm not opposed to polishing up a chapter for her, once a month or whatever we end up doing. So there may also be a Messiah chapter this week at some point, which is fine. I already have the first draft of Messiah. I was going through the 2nd draft right before I focused in on Cindy last summer, question mark, is that when that happened? And I'd love to get back to the 2nd draft of Messiah. I'm really fond of my fantasy series, and I want to finish it. And, finish writing book 4, see if it needs a book 5, do all the edits and 2nd, 3rd, 5th drafts, whatever. I want to take my time. I want to make it amazing. I'm really excited about it. Messiah's awesome. But I also really want to get the dystopian trilogy, out of the way, so I can be done with all of this rewriting, republishing thing. Because it's a fun process. It's a process that I wanted to do and I enjoy doing. And with certain books, like with the Robin Hoods, it was a lot of fun to pull out the story that young Mandi meant to tell. And there was a lot of like nostalgia and emotions attached to it. And like with Isolation, I'm pretty sure it's like the best book I have ever written. And it was previously before I even fixed it, and now it's even better. So there's like a lot of positivity about it, but at the same time there's also like a, can we be done with this project yet? I don't know when that died. What a grand video this is. The point is, I'm not gonna add like a third different project if I start sending stuff to my third petite partner. It'll just be sending her Cindy, which I've already polished the chapters for Hannah, so it won't even be that hard. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else in terms of writing. I am writing. I'm gonna keep writing. I'm trying to be consistent, but also sustainable, not give myself crazy goals, you know? I don't think writing 10 days in January is a crazy goal. I could be wrong, given that these 10 days of writing have been hanging over me since June. But I think we can handle it. I think that's everything. This feels like I've forgotten something, but I don't know what. So I'm going to say that that's probably everything. I do need to write a newsletter this week. I haven't done that. And I missed December's. Whoops. And I didn't send anything for Isolation's publication. I didn't send an email that was like, it's publication day, here's a link, like whatever. We're just going to pretend that December didn't happen and start fresh. It's a brand new year. You know, everything is new. Thanks for being here for my ranting. I don't think I have anything else, so I'm gonna stop.